Hi, welcome to episode 20 of the Crubcast. I'm here today with Nico, who's tearing it up. Nico, look at you go.
Yeah, look at him.
It is I, gamers. That's right. It is I, Nico. All hail buckets. I am flanked, of course, by the great Chris Mykonos fan. Chris, say hi.
I just realized I forgot once again to say my name while throwing it to you, so I'm glad you went with me. Hi, I'm Chris Mykonos fan.
I am also flanked by our favorite Lycan. That's right, Wolf Chaos-on.
Yeah, that's me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That was
we're gonna get content ID'd for that, brother. And speaking of content ID, I'm also flanked by Brody. Hey, Brody, I don't have an adjective for you.
I wish I knew a Pearl Jam song to sing at this moment.
There's so many.
That would definitely get us content ID.
There's so many common adjectives with positive associations. You couldn't think of the good Brody, the fun Brody, the happy Brody.
Well, those are all a given.
Oh, true.
Our resident golden retriever Brody himself.
Hey.
That's an otter.
That's Tumblr talk right there. I can't get behind that.
That is an otter. And speaking of whatever character Brody is there, speaking of useless characters, speaking of useless things, today, fellas, I've brought in a topic for us. Today is what do you think is useless?
Podcasts.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a good place to start. I mean,
oh no.
I do think podcasts have a use. I think they're relatively sturdy. I don't think they can stand up to a lot of the weathering that you're going to see as a common theme in all of my list. But you know, Chris, you said you had a couple of them. So
I got some quick ones if you want to start with me. I got some real quick ones. First off, this only applies to people of a certain age range, I imagine. The Fushigi ball? Do you remember the Fushigi ball?
Useless.
What purpose did that serve?
Useless.
Oh, I've heard that term before, but I've never been clear on what a Fushigi ball is. Is it just for juggling?
So it's an art form called contact juggling, where the goal is to make the ball parentheses S, you can do one, you can do multiple, to appear as if they are not moving or appear as if they are just flowing freely through your fingers. Yeah. And it is visually appealing when you're 12, and it is useless after that.
The commercial was great. It had like a bunch of people in the field and one guy being like, "It's the Fushigi ball! Look at how it goes!" And people would be like, "Whoa!" Yeah. But even as a kid, you'd watch that commercial before the end of it. You're like, "But like, what is it? Why would I want that?"
Yeah.
And I don't think it was readily available in stores, right? So you'd have to bother your parents and then make the case to them also and be like, "Oh, this looks cool."
Yeah. Well, and then even worse, the illusion is broken once the ball is scratched. And the balls get scratched quite easily and quite often. And on top of that, if you buy multiple of them and you do what you're ostensibly supposed to do, where you have the balls in a triangle, right? And you spin them around in a circle, they rub against each other and
scratch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Useless.
Yeah, I remember like seeing one like in real life, and also like your fingerprints would get on them.
Oh, the fingerprints too, even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, those were one of those, like, even when you were 12, like they were cool for like 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, I just wasted my parents' credit card on this.
Yep.
Could have got a video game with that, you know?
Yeah, you could have.
Dude, legit. And you had to, I think they were like, as seen on TV only. Like, I think you had to call them until eventually they got a store deal at some point much, much later, way past any of their prime, any time that anyone would know them. I think they got into like FYE type of stores as far as I remember.
That's a good place for them.
Yeah, it's the type of place that you'd find a Fushigi ball. Oh, useless, dude. What a bad toy, too. It's just a ball that you can't throw or...
do anything.
It just sits there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound like a disgruntled parent trying to talk their kid out of it. But you could literally just imagine doing that, and that's everything you can get out of it, you know?
Yeah.
I have another quick one if we want to just knock another one out real quick.
Yeah, knock it out. Go. What is it?
Carpeted toilet lid covers.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What are you sitting on that thing that's not for its function? And it's never comfy anyway. It's not warm.
It feels like it would get so gross so fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything
now,
gathers.
Here.
Yeah. You have to vacuum it, maybe?
I will defend this for one reason and one reason only.
Okay.
You see that in a lot of old people's homes, and I assume it's because like they need to sit there after they take a shower to dry themselves off rather than, stand and dry themselves off.
That is the only
that is the only thing
possible use
case
that I
you still need
see.
to wash it. You still need to wash it.
Yeah, you got to wash it regularly, dude. Especially for those, like, I know a lot of people who flush with their lid open, and I think that's disgusting. Because I've watched Mythbusters. Now, but Mythbusters did do an episode on that. They did do an episode where they confirmed that if you flush the toilet with the lid open, bacteria gets spewed into the air. So if you have your toothbrush, it's getting on there. And so I flush the toilet with the lid closed, and I live alone, and I have a lot of female friends as well, so I feel like it makes the most sense to have everybody open the lid to their preferred setting than to have to close a lid, if that makes sense. Anyway, I digress.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
that's good.
I flush with the lid closed. I always close the lid, and you should too. That is the one thing that I will peddle. That is the one ideology I will actually peddle. If you take one thing away from this podcast, flush with the lid closed. And actually, speaking of carpeted things, Chris, I have one that I would like to get into. Maybe not quite as quick, but it's there. It'll be quick, whatever. So I think that carpeted floors are useless. I think that carpeted floors are absolutely useless unless you are allowed to wear your shoes on them, which most carpets you can't, right? The carpets that are not useless, as an example, movie theater lobbies, hotel lobbies, hotel flooring, like those types of like non-shaggy carpets. But as soon as you get to something a little bit fluffier than that, something a little more absorbent, I think that not allowing for wearing of shoes takes away from the comfort level, and it also takes away from convenience, and it also makes you impose on guests to take their shoes off, which I am not a fan of, notoriously.
So I was really waiting on you to bring this one up. Studious people will know it was our thumbnail for this week, so I knew you were going to bring this one up. I was waiting for you to mention this in your "there are some uses" thing. I figured you of all people would have this use in that carpeted floor helps with recording audio, so I figured at least you'd be like, well, they're good for that. But
you get a rug. Get a rug. It's
get a small carpeted floor.
Get a rug. No. But you can get rugs way cheaper than you can upholster an entire floor. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, if you're building the house, just build it with hardwood. Give people the option to have a rug as opposed to just having a carpeted floor. I think it's the versatility of a hardwood floor that makes it useful. I think it's the ability to clean. Oh, and you can't spill things on carpets either. If you spill things on a carpeted floor, it's just like done. Especially if you're a red wine drinker. Like, you can't have a carpeted floor.
Yeah.
It adds character, and it makes your house look not as nice as it once was.
No, I've done enough spills on my carpet. It's like a cheetah now, so now it has like a different appeal.
Yeah. I have this like vacuum thing that like I have to put it on the spot, and it like gets everything out. It like wets it, scrubs it down and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's very loud, but like it gets it out rather quickly. I haven't spilled red wine on it, but I also have like a bunch of dogs, so like sometimes they'll just run amok and like, oh hey, there goes my drink. It's on the ground. Great. I hate being alive. Not their fault. I just hate being alive. But
unrelated.
I almost spit my drink.
But
you mean your hot spicy ramen broth?
No, this was just Red Bull. This was, I finished the broth.
But I don't know. I like carpets because I don't like to wear my shoes all the time, and I don't, just walking on hard floor all the time is just so, I don't know.
It feels so nice. It's nice and cool to the touch. It like makes it like nice and cold. It makes you not hot.
I get it. I don't know. I just want like fluffy on my feet.
Yeah, I wear flip-flops around my house, to be honest. I wear flip-flops. I used to wear moccasins. I don't anymore.
I think one good case for carpeted floor. One good case for carpeted floor is if you paint it, you get a nice crunchy sound.
My dad did paint his carpet one time.
Just tell that story if you want to.
Come on,
do it. You can't just bring that one up and not get into that one.
I'll give you the abbreviated version, and I'm sorry to the folks who have heard me working on my stand-up set, but I haven't rewritten it yet, so I'm just going to give this Spark Notes, right? A couple of years ago, my dad bought a pool store. He opens and closes pools, and he sells pool merchandise, right? And he came home one day, and my mom and I asked him how his day was, and he was just like, "Oh, it was good. I just have to take inventory, stock the shelves, paint the carpets, call some clients." And my mom and I, you did not hear that wrong. He said he was going to paint the carpet, and he did, which I guess is not the worst thing to do in a pool store. You know, it gives you that authentic feeling of like wading in liquid. You know,
are you if you go in as soon as it's painted?
I was gonna say, like,
well, it's not. The implication is that he put too much and it's not gonna dry. But you go one of two ways, right? It either is crunchy or it doesn't dry, right? It's one of those two things. You're not gonna get perfectly usable paint on a carpet. And my dad painted his carpet, and the best was, I went into his store and I noticed that he moved a shelf, and you don't take note of that when you go into a store. The only reason I knew was because half of the floor looked, there was a big rectangle on the floor that was just gray, and then the rest of the floor looked like James Cameron's Avatar.
I love that.
He taped off his shelves and painted, and he also grabbed a can. He went to the. He didn't use any like sensible method of doing it. He went to the Walmart and grabbed one can of spray paint, where he bent over at a stark 90-degree angle and just started going to town.
I never knew how to imagine him doing this when this happened back in the day. I guess I just imagine him taking one of those paint rollers or something and just like mowing the lawn with your carpet with it. But
well, if you ask somebody how would you paint a carpet, their first answer might be I wouldn't, and they would be correct.
My only question is, I'm kind of hoping it's not really a question, it's just like a hope. Don't ruin this for me. But I was hoping like he was painting it while there's people in the store shopping. So they're just watching this man.
It's the only time I have to do this. I'm so sorry.
So he's just right there.
There's a non-zero chance. There is a non-zero chance that he had people coming into the store as he was just.
It's like, oh, hold on, I gotta. You just start spray painting the ground in front of them. Oh my god, that is. Your dad is like the most powerful entity I've heard of in the past like 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, that's true. Me too.
It's such a stressful thought. I'm sorry. It's just. Spray paint. I didn't know that part until now.
The best was he moved to a different store location, so now somebody else is just stuck with
some other person came in with the lease and was inspecting it. It's like, this isn't even painted all the way through. What did they do? Spray paint it?
Who decided to buy that property? Like now knowing.
I think now I see why you hate carpet, because you had to walk on that. You're like, no, this is bad. No, absolutely not.
On potato chips.
I did have an incident growing up where I had an office chair that if you picked it up the wrong way, it popped out of its base. And one of my friends picked it up and put it down on the carpet thinking it was still in the base, but it wasn't. And so the oil grease that they use on the ball bearings got on the carpet and stained it forever. It is still stained. It is, and I got in pretty big trouble for that. So
that's not your fault. Let me have a talk to your parents. That's not your fault.
I didn't think so either. I didn't think so either. But like my parents really liked to do this thing where they had me enforce their rules, which was strange. Because they chose to have me and then asked me to follow their rules. Kind of weird. I didn't like that.
That's called being a parent.
It was it was a bad decision. They No. If I had been adopted, that'd be a different story, because then you're bringing somebody into your home. But anyway.
You still are bringing them into your home.
We don't gotta go into this. And speaking of things we don't have to go into, we don't have to go into how you're gonna subscribe to the Crubcast. We don't have to go into how you're gonna follow Crub on every single platform at Crub Official, except for Twitch, which is at Crub_official, and how you're gonna go to the Patreon, and you are gonna go to patreon.com/Crub, and you are going to enjoy the hours and hours of content that we have prepared for you there. We have such classics as Mario Party, such classics as me talking to JTart9 about Ted Lasso Season 1, me talking to JTart9 about Ted Lasso Season 2, me talking to JTart9 about Ted Lasso Season 3, and of course, me talking to JTart9 about the Barbie movie. Chris, did I miss anything on the Patreon? I think I missed a lot of stuff.
That's literally all we've ever done and will do. You actually got it all.
that felt like Hannibal Lecter. You were giving Hannibal Lecter at a certain point.
It was intimidating. You were like, and then you're going to go to the Patreon. And it's like, I was
cutting. It was bad. I'll admit to the bad seg. I'll admit to the bad bit.
Yeah,
it was a bad bit. I was doing a really crappy Vince McMahon impression. Not good. It's not good. It was not
that
good.
Guy.
Not a good decision. Not a good anything.
I think next time you should go with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, next time I'll go with Vince Vaughn. Next time I'll go with Owen Wilson.
I forgot Vince Vaughn existed.
Yeah, he just like stopped. He just like, you know what, I'm done.
He's like the smoothest man in Hollywood, like physically speaking, from like his cheeks down.
His body?
No, from his cheeks, from his cheeks down to like his neck. There's like no change in surface. Like there's no angles from his cheeks down to his neck. It's just like a straight line. He looks like one of the
celebrity. Do you think is the smoothest?
Like visually or like jeez.
Well, most aerodynamic, I should say.
Most aerodynamics. Okay, so like not like the opposite of Timothy Chalamet.
If they were in like a jet fighter and ejected out, but we're still trying to get to the finish line of a race, who would get the fastest?
Timothy Chalamet. If you're throwing tomatoes, it's like hitting the broadside of the barn, hitting his head. He's like a bobblehead figure, and he is not aerodynamic. So who would you say, Brody, is aerodynamic?
I don't know why, but the name that's coming up in my head is Jackie Gleason. I don't. Don't know why.
Okay.
I just wanted an answer. I got one, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Jackie Gleason.
It's not the one I thought you would have said. So I'm
it's not the one. It's not the one I thought I would have said. I don't know why that came to my mind.
The first celebrity on everybody's mind at all times. Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
God.
Oh man. Yeah. Dude. Chris, do you have any other useless things for us on your list?
I have a few.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Truck nuts.
Useless.
What is the point? It signals to not talk to that person or get too close to their vehicle.
Yeah.
But I don't know who it's for, because it makes you look bad to everyone else, and then if you find it funny, you don't get to see it ever.
It's a racist dog whistle.
What?
I believe that. At least
I don't know if it actually is. I shouldn't say that. But
I was gonna say it's not.
Is definitely there a respectable person with truck nuts?
It depends on the car, because if you have a sedan and you have truck nuts, you're doing it ironically and it's funny. But if you have an actual
Where
truck
would you even
and you're
put
using
it?
Well, that's the
driver
show.
door.
Yeah.
I think for truck nuts to not be useless, there also needs to be like a truck dong that stretches all the way from the back to the front of the car and then sticks out the front a little bit.
That is true. Do truck nuts imply the existence of other organs on a truck?
Is it the exhaust pipe?
Why was in Disney Pixar's Cars? Why was there no truck nuts?
They do have boobs.
That seems kind of like a bit of an oversight, if you ask me.
Yeah. Oh, do you ever see underneath the car? Is the question.
I mean, the Sally has a tramp stamp.
Certainly.
Like Sally definitely has a tramp stamp in that movie.
They focus on it in Cars 1. When she's going back to the Cone Hotel, it zooms in and shows it, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Sally tramp stamp Cars.
Okay,
you'll get.
Oh my god, she does.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That takes up multiple frames of that film.
More like Disney Pixar's Jars, am I right?
No, I'm not starting.
You can't go back to your stand-up, which is just reading off Crub names.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. I did have a stand-up bit where I'm just reading silly names that I made up off of a list.
Oh right, that was a thing.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man, maybe I'll do that one. Maybe I'll do that for 1 million subscribers on Crub. I'll go up on a stage and do that. Or some other more attainable number.
Just put everyone on blast for everything they've ever named themselves.
Oh yeah. Well, Sean has the best name right now. Sean's name in the group chat is LeBron.
That's it. That's all it is.
It's just LeBron, and it's Sean's picture, which makes it even better.
I thought about changing the picture last night, but like, no, this is funnier without it.
No, it's funnier when it's just LeBron and a picture of you.
That is just LeBron. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for context, it's usually like a pun, right? Or something. Mm-hmm. Mine is Google Docs currently, like you're being doxxed. But Sean's is just LeBron.
Yeah. Yesterday, it used to be Fertile Turtle, but I changed it to LeBron last night.
I mean, the puns are good, but like one of my favorites is still just Minecraft.
Yeah. We have like for example was Yuri Groenthal. Like it's not good puns. But,
classic.
Yeah. Oh,
speaking of useless things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
useless puns. Chris, you got any more on that sticky note of yours? Because otherwise I can go into some of mine.
I have 5 more.
Okay.
Nice. Good.
Quick one. Hands-free soap dispensers. You're about to wash your hands anyway. Why do you have to have it dispensed to you? Unless you get those people that are that or can't actually do it, right? But
yeah.
It's for the same people who don't flush with their lid closed because they don't wash their hands good enough, so they're like, oh, I need to minimize contact with germs so that I can just scoop by with a little and that's it.
You can keep the lid open if you have a hands-free soap dispenser. Okay, so that's boy math.
I more was just alluding to a lack of hygiene in general.
I'll admit to a lack of hygiene in general while we're on the subject. At some point you stop counting how long you wash your hands, right? Because you might, I don't know, sitting there and counting the 20 every single time. Mm-hmm. Good practice. Right.
I have some moves that I do. I go you go front of the hands, in between the fingers, back of the left hand in between the fingers, back of the right hand in between the fingers, scrub the thumb, palms together, and then rinse, and that's it.
That's a good strategy. Because I guess I fell into like a 7 to 8 second routine at some point without really realizing it. Because I bought an Apple Watch for cheap, and that's been my entire personality for the last month. But it has a thing where it detects that you're washing your hands, and it starts counting down to like 20 seconds, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay." Wild. And I didn't realize how long 20 seconds were until I was there doing it. And then at the end, it vibrates, and it's like, "Good job." And I'm like, I've never felt so patronized while washing my hands. And it'll say like, "Nice going." I'm like, what are we doing? I paid $200 for this.
I mean, eventually, I would like to see the Apple Watch that then hands you a treat after.
It just pops open and there's a little Tootsie Roll or something.
Yeah.
It's like a ring pop,
Yeah.
Ring pop.
That's a useful item. That's a useful one.
Ring pops are useful. Well, ring pops would be more useful if I might offer a critique to the good folks at Ring Pop. They should maybe make the not the pommel, the guard a little bit wider. Like the circle that guards the liquids from coming down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time you maybe curve the lip up just a little bit.
Yeah, to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever you use a ring pop, your fingers inevitably get sticky. Yeah. And if that guard was just a little bit more engineered, just a tiny bit, I think that the ring pop could have 1,000 times increase in user experience.
I ate an off-brand ring pop yesterday. And it was shaped like a gummy bear. I didn't have any liquid problems. What? So while you were describing this, all I could picture is just a very viscerous like saliva situation going on with the ring pop to facilitate that level of moisture. Yeah, like the grapefruit.
I picture the vacuum noise as you're eating this.
Hold on.
As you're eating
I'm just
this
amazed that we somehow got onto ring pops, and then out of the four of us, someone just happened to have had one yesterday.
Ring pop.
When was the last time you saw a ring pop other than Brody?
So very specifically, this was a ring candy thing that Becca had got. We went to a movie theater and they were in like the not slot machine. What am I thinking of? Crane game. And it was like one of the default prizes or whatever. And it was like green apple shaped like a gummy bear or shaped like a bear.
Yeah, and there's like a blue one and a red
slot
one.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I found them.
Baby.
Dude, Chuck E. Cheese Child Casino.
It's 99 cents for one. Teddy Pops. I'm not buying.
I think Teddy Pop might have been what it was. Yeah.
Oh man, Sean goes, I'm not buying any. And that brings us to this week's sponsor, Teddy Pops. No,
Teddy Pops.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, actually, we have Teddy Pops as a guest right now. He's going to come on the podcast. Anyway, that's not.
Next week, I'm going to be the gummy bear from the I'm a Gummy Bear song.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, you should.
No.
No, but I do agree. Generally that handle pumpless soap dispensers are bad.
Don't worry. Useless. I was also sitting there trying to unravel how we got here. I was like, wait, what were we just? Yeah. I have one more bathroom related one, real quick, very quick one. Single ply toilet paper.
Yeah.
See, I have a use case for that. I actually prefer the single ply. It gives you control. I don't want to go much further than that.
You can stack as many plies as you want. It's customizable ply.
You have your foot on the gas in that regard. You can stack 8 or 9 below your nose. You know, you can or you can do less and have some risk in your life. And
do you like to? I'm a gambler. I only use one sheet of one ply, and if it breaks through, I got shit hands, and I'm gonna wash them for 20 seconds.
Well, I'm flipping a coin. Let's see how this works out.
I mean, I have a bidet. I have a bidet, so I like. You know.
Oh, right. You solved this issue.
I solved the issue.
No wonder you like single ply.
I want voice clips of Nico just saying, "I have a bidet," like in the most pretentious tone you could possibly.
I'm gonna make Morbit.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna make Morbit. We'll tell the Morbit story sometime at some point, maybe, possibly.
That one isn't very positive to you along the way, but the end result is very funny.
That's 150,000 subs.
Well, it's just an example of one time where
it was just a descent into madness. Like being there for this experience was just it was like I went through this.
You did.
I was going through the 7 rings of hell. I watched what he went through in that moment.
Ariana Grande 7 rings of hell. No, yeah, that was a time where bullying was warranted, I would say. We'll talk about it at some point.
But you kept taking him. You're like, yeah, go ahead, bully me. I'm just gonna keep going for it. I don't care today.
I had something to say.
You had a lot to say.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of the same thing to say. Over and over again.
Speaking of getting caught and getting bullied, subjects that show up in porn, share buttons on porn sites.
Ooh, yeah.
A, you can grab the link. B, you don't want to share that to other forms of social media, right? Are you posting that to X, the Everything app? Instagram?
Yeah. Clearly you don't have good enough friends. No,
I can just pass it along to you, Brody.
Well, you should.
Like, I don't know what purpose you would have as for a comment section or I was thinking this would be a flyby.
Thinking this would be a flyby, quick and done. But if I'm going to give you a reason, let's say, for example, you want to know where a clip is from, and you scroll down, and some weirdo has already provided the sauce, as it's called.
Yeah, that's true. That's like when people upload pirated movies to porn sites. You want to know what movie it is,
or on TikTok. And they just upload it in 30 parts, and someone's like, "What movie is this?" And someone's like, "Oh, it's Slumdog Millionaire for sure, bro." You're like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I don't mean comment section on. I don't mean comment sections on everything. I just mean on porn sites.
Okay,
because it's like, why would you want to like
talk to someone?
Maybe you're lonely. I don't know.
Like, oh hey man, we watch the same things.
It's like high five. You want to get on Fortnite tonight at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. My name is I love Minions 788.
Oh, what a coincidence, dude! I'm Minion Lover 3.
Yeah, and then they
then they battle over who loves Minions the most.
We
see you even know their names.
Let's see how much you actually love them.
Man, what a coincidence we found each other on this particular video.
And it's a Minion video.
That was the implication.
Well, some people look
banana.
Okay, whatever. Everyone thinks banana.
Do Minions have truck nuts?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe. Let's find out. Let me Google this.
I think they'd put it on the request list, and Gru, the magnanimous leader of the Minions, would be so distressed that he'd just go like, "Yeah, whatever, do it," and then they'd get truck nuts.
Minions truck nuts.
Right.
No, I thought about this there's before. A lot of. What the hell was even that?
What the hell was even that? Sorry, I like that clip a lot.
That's such a good clip.
It's a great clip.
It is just part of my personality now.
Oh, dude, I'm turning into DJ Khaled here.
What does that mean?
I couldn't say clip the right way. I said kip.
Well, you ruined everything.
And he had a clip where he couldn't say shrimp shumai, so he just said shimp. Have you ever played rugby?
I see.
Fun fact, I used to not be able to say tartar sauce. Like I used to say like portal or something like that. I can't mimic it because I'll just go back to my old ways and I don't want to do that.
You'll release the curse again.
Yeah. But like my buddy, like I remember somebody like, Sean, I'm gonna sit you down and we're gonna get you to stop this. For an entire day. We spent an entire day like making me learn how to say tartar sauce because I just could not say it. But here's the issue. I don't like tartar sauce, so I didn't even ever have to say it. He just wanted to teach me this.
Well, but you need to say it in order to tell people that you don't like it, I think.
No, it's just like, do you want tartar sauce? No. I don't have to say it.
I guess most of the time. Well, the only time you would need to say it is if it's
if I want it.
Well, no, it's if the order is fish and chips comes with a side of tartar sauce, and then you say, I don't like no tartar sauce, please.
Don't give me that white sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they ban me from
Which we do live in an economy, and this is another useless thing I would say, which is the idea of hamburgers coming with accoutrement on them already. And every burger place not having just a plain standard burger on the menu priced out, because I feel like that's useless, because you should be able to get the burger and then just price out the toppings. And, you know, because not everybody likes lettuce, tomato, onion, or if you do like those things, you might not like them on your burger. This is a very specific experience to me, but I'm sure that others feel the same way when it's like, it'd be much easier to go to a restaurant and say, I would like a hamburger, please, with American cheese, and you shouldn't have to order anything else. It should be, okay, well, how do you want that done? That should be the next question.
Well, this is a problem that Canada has solved.
Of course.
I'm listening.
At least with regards to one
free healthcare for the hamburger?
Yeah, so there's a chain of restaurants up here called Harvey's, and you walk. It's basically Subway, but for hamburgers or whatever you get there. So you order your burger. It's implied to be plain, and then they bring it to you after it's cooked, and you say the items you want like you would at a Subway.
Yeah.
Oh heck, did Fuddruckers do this too here in the States? I haven't been to one, but I feel like they had a.
I went to Fuddruckers once in my life, and it was.
Yeah, I've
never condiment bar, I think, right?
Yeah, they do.
Fuddruckers, I lump in Fuddruckers and Bubba Gump together. Is that valid?
Never been to Bubba Gump, so I can't tell you.
I think they're a little different, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just as like type of restaurant.
I can't confirm or deny, but I will accept that.
Yeah,
I think I am with you on this overall thing in a very Mr. Krabsian way. Where if I order a burger that's just cheese and ketchup, I don't want to get charged for all the other things I am not making them serve me, right?
Right.
Even if that's like 28 cents, I just want to feel something, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Something.
And I understand that like they do that to accommodate, the quantity of lettuce, tomato, onion that they have to buy as the restaurant. They have to recoup that cost right off the bat, like regardless of whether people eat those things or not.
True.
But why not just forecast better and purchase better?
Why not McDonald's?
Yeah. Which, as the supply chain stands, is currently useless, the supply chain itself. There's many adjustments that could be made, many efficiencies to fix that would make everyone's lives easier, including the people who do the deliveries. It would make everyone's lives easier if the supply chain were more streamlined, just to ensure lack of shortages and that resources are going to the right places at the right time. I think there are not many data-driven approaches that are being used that are correct or that are good. And I think that people need to learn to forecast better. Sorry, Chris.
What's the supply chain?
McDonald's.
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to get into that. But no, just the idea of like a product going from materials to finished, essentially. That's the simplest way I can put that.
Yummy.
So the concept, not useless. The current state, useless.
Brody, what do you think of the supply chain?
Yeah.
I would like to know where to get chains and how I could find the supply of them.
Well, first you got to call a jeweler.
Why do you have chains? Oh, those chains. Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to pull up silver interlocked chains. Like, why would you have those by you?
Sean does have a really cool choker. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
Because the chokers are in nowadays. And I know I said that in the past. The chokers are in.
Where'd I put it?
Uh-oh.
It's a...
I will concede that jewelry maybe is also useless. But I do enjoy it, and I will say with my whole heart that it's useless, but it's a useless thing that I enjoy.
Okay.
I mean, technically speaking, it has the same use case as truck, right? Like it's aesthetic.
Yeah, it's aesthetic. It's purely aesthetic.
I was sitting here forming it in my mind. I was like, at least like something like that we enjoy, right? Like unlike truck nuts, which benefits no one, but you also made a very good point, I guess.
It's aesthetics.
Well, truck nuts only benefit the truck nut E. They don't benefit any
Well, they also benefit truck nut aficionados, like
the truck nut E.
If someone had a little like truck nut, like little dangle truck nut on like their necklace, should they wear it in the front or should they wear it kind of like backwards so it hangs off the back of it?
I'm gonna type in.
Actually, quite innovative, Brody. I don't think you understand how creative that actually is.
Key size truck nuts, 2-inch tall, solid plastic truck nuts. Choose color, tan.
Tan.
Oh yeah, no, there are truck nut. Big
necklaces?
nuts. Yeah, it's called Chubby Chico Charms Big Nuts Single Charm Necklace, $12.99.
Bro, is that Chubby Chico brand? Get over here and let me high five you, dude.
Let's go.
I hate this.
Now, do people wear them backwards or do they just wear them in the front?
I just feel them slapping against your back all day.
In the front.
Yeah.
Why is this?
Actually,
oh
Brody,
my!
Would you not wear it on your pants zipper?
Hold on,
I mean, I guess you could.
I'm posting this.
Yeah,
I'm posting this.
I'm posting this.
You're gonna have to show the.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Our one show notes this week is going to be
just. This is just you'll see. Just.
Oh
show,
my God.
Please show the audience this picture.
I'll timestamp it. Anyway, Chris, what else is on that list of yours? Unless you want me to do one of mine.
Put that link in chat for one thing. I have two more.
Okay.
Both are quick still. Mm-hmm. Confetti.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely useless.
100%. Glitter. Confetti glitter.
It's really good for killing birds.
I don't like that.
Oh wait, that's not a good thing though.
Well, birds aren't real, so it's okay.
Birds are real. I see them.
I'm joking.
I see them.
Doing a bit.
All I know about glitter as a prior retail employee, Christmas season sucks because people bring up all their glittery things, and then you take it home with you, and then it gets into every surface in your home.
Oh yeah,
and you never get rid of it. I still have Kmart glitter. Kmart. Do you know what Kmart is? No.
Yeah, every crevasse.
but I still have
absolutely. No, there was one time that glitter was interesting, and that was back when there was a glitter shortage a couple months ago.
What?
And nobody knew. The company that was buying all the glitter ostensibly didn't want people to know what the glitter was going into, and I haven't done enough research on it to see what it was. I don't remember what it was. So I can't speculate. There are a bunch of videos and resources speculating on about what company would have been causing this glitter shortage, but that was the only time it was interesting.
We should make glitter to be there when they fail.
Yeah. Yeah, we should make...
dude, we could get into the glitter industry, man. Be useless. We can perpetuate uselosity.
Let's make Crub glitter. Let's make no. Glitter truck nuts.
Glitter truck nuts. Wow, we are just carpeted glitter truck nuts. We are just perpetuating uselosity here.
Step on a bunch of... I'm not finishing that sentence. Never mind.
Legos. Step on a bunch of Legos.
What else we got? What else we got?
Okay.
What else we got? I'm ready.
What's your last? What's the next one, Chris?
My last one is the state of North Dakota.
Yeah, that needs to go.
Yeah,
it's contributed nothing to society. I looked at its notable people, and it was like, an astronaut came from here.
Yeah,
and a sports guy.
Where's Mount Rushmore?
South.
South. Yeah. Okay. North Dakota useless.
Carson Wentz did come from North Dakota State, so you are correct about that.
No, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna say
there.
He might as well be useless. He was injured for half of his career.
Yes, he is an injured person.
He's very injury prone, and Nick Foles won the Super Bowl.
Yes,
anyway.
Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, and
then deserted the team immediately, deserted the team.
I mean, it was either go with Nick Foles or go with the guy who's having his Super Bowl MVP season, and Nick Foles never did anything since. And Carson Wentz has been injured, and he lost that one game to the Jaguars, and that was kind of the end of his career.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, fair. Football stuff.
Yeah, multifaceted interests here at Crub.
My issue with it, I brought it up a few weeks ago on the show, and I think Kevin was the one who pointed out to me, because my usual question for people, and I just want to see what they say, is I'm always like, do you know anyone that's from South Dakota? And the answer is usually no. So I was like, let's get rid of it. But Mount Rushmore was the thing, so I pivoted, right? North Dakota. It is the 19th largest state in the United States of America, which out of 50 means it's in the upper half. But only 780,000 people have been there. And when I asked that South Dakota question, live there. Sorry, I guess been there is a little broader. But I've never met more than like a couple people that's like, I know someone from North Dakota.
That still seems pretty useless.
Like, get rid of it.
Like, it's just land. I mean, is there any viable arable farmland there?
Does anyone go to North Dakota to even know
are there
that?
any
No.
Are there any like major rivers that run through it? Does the Mississippi run through North Dakota? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, not that I want to.
This is one of those subjects where like 100 episodes from now we're going to have to make like a public apology to all of our North Dakotan fans.
No,
I'm going to look at our analytics. It's like, oh my god, most of our listeners are from North Dakota.
We love we love the people of North Dakota. We do not love the state's existence itself. I think it's okay to make that distinction.
I just looked up North Dakota and it was like, get there in 4 hours and 30 minutes.
That's pretty soon. Let's go.
But it's telling me to get a plane there. So yeah, if you get a plane, it'll take 4 hours and 30 minutes. I can't drive there. I'm not that close.
Are there even any airports in North Dakota?
I
guess you could just land the plane anywhere you want. In that,
I can't fly.
Flat state.
No one will notice. I was just looking at the Wikipedia. It's like North Dakota has like 44 hospitals. I was like, that seems a little low.
Yeah,
that's really low.
Is North Dakota flat? Because I was picturing it as flat, but then you guys said that Mount Rushmore was in South Dakota, and I'm like, well, there's at least one mountain.
I would assume that most of the state is flat.
Well, because it's like upper left of the U.S., so isn't that kind of where the Rockies are a little bit?
It borders your land.
Left?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought it was in like the Montana area.
This is the most white guy on podcast thing I could have brought because I don't know what I'm talking about. I just need to say it.
No, that's the speculation is why people like to watch us. Is the speculation?
You know, get that one guy.
Everything.
Get that one guy from South Dakota who's like, actually.
Our listeners know that they can simply Google the correct answer. They don't come to us for the correct answers. They come to us for the most entertaining answer.
Correct. and I have one of those.
Okay, what is it?
Oh
no, it's already done. I already gave it.
Oh, so it's a challenge. So go back in this episode, folks, and tweet at WolfKosan which you think it is, and he will throw you a like if you are right. He will throw you a like.
And the video. Did you see the walking gorilla?
Oh yeah! Oh my god! We should do that on an episode one time. We should actually do that. Have something like people don't notice. But. Anyway, so I have a few of these, man. I have a few.
Also, I need to say this really quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to do this.
Oh.
But I really have to pee. I've had to pee for the past 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
It's okay. We'll just talk about
is this the first on-air pee?
Maybe
it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I have ruined everything.
Update the TV tropes.
Update the TV tropes. I'm hitting the lap. In case you want to edit it out, you don't have to. So anyway, I'll still get started on this list because I'm sure Sean will have enough to weigh in on by the end of it. But so the first thing is I'll go back to the restaurants thing. I think whatever the machine is at the restaurant that splits the checks is useless because oftentimes they can't split more than 4 checks, more than 4 cards, and at the same time, the server still has to enter the things that each individual person got, which I don't like. I want less work for the servers. And so I think there should be some type of way where if you enter in the right order, that you can, as you're going, hit customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, and just make it easier on yourself so that you only have to enter it in one time, that it's, easy to split the check or whatever. I think this is actually a very good application of AI, being able to like split the check and say, okay, like we can ostensibly split the appetizers in this many checks and then, allocate the drinks, correctly.
I'm going to unveil how little sit-down dining I've done in the last 5 to 6 years. I did not know there was a machine that did this. I just watched the waiter go away and then they come back and I'm like, haha. Money.
Yeah, it's the POS. It's the point of sale machine.
So now is this just something built into like the debit machine or something? Because
it's the same machine. It's the same machine.
Every time I've ever had to split a check, they usually just punch in the orders as first guy pays, second guy pays, third guy pays. So they're still putting in the everything only once. They're just like interspersing it between payments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then I don't know. There are some that only split it 4 ways. I just think there should be some kind of an easier way all around to split checks easier and quicker. Because I know that there are places, you got restaurants that are backed by money, like a Red Robin, where they have the thing on the table that you can split your own check, and I advocate for that heavily.
That's what I thought we were talking about. I was just like, that doesn't do it? Weird.
No, that does it. I'm talking about like the point of sale machine. Like I think it feels like they're all based on archaic technology. If you look at like the user interfaces, it feels like they are not very sophisticated. At least I don't have any experience with them. Again, if you're interested in what it really is like, Google it, or talk to somebody who has worked in the service industry. But I think it should be easier for those folks who do that work to do it. I don't necessarily
like that your most useless invention is probably a decades old thing that's just not updated for modern times.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I love going into businesses and seeing they're still running something on MS-DOS. Like that's fun for me.
At Kmart, our system was on 80s MS-DOS. Yeah.
I used to work for a pretty important nonprofit, and they were still running Windows 98. Like we literally had AOL Instant Messenger. And that was in 2017, I should say.
Sounds good
2017. Yeah. Oh man. Well,
with the door closing sound effect.
My next yeah. Right?
I was gonna say, meanwhile, everyone like in my industry gets like upset if you're working for a company that's using like a version of the software that's even 2 years old. They're like, it's just so much easier in Houdini 19.5. Why can't we just have that? Why do we have to have 18.5? There's new features that do the thing we want to do automatically. Why do you have to make us like look at documentation that's outdated and we can't even search it now because all the documentation's for 19.5? Why do you make us look at this?
Dude, no, it happens all the time. It happens everywhere, especially in bigger companies like, where there was some infrastructure, where I currently work that was based in an older version of R. There was some old code that they developed that only works in the previous version of R. So I had to reinstall R as the old version so that I could use this internal package that they developed. So yeah, no, I agree.
Speaking of internal packages, how was your piss, Sean?
It's very much needed.
I was gonna say it must have been pretty bad. I feel like that's not the type of thing you would just do.
Yeah, no, I took pre-workout and I went to the gym like an idiot.
There it is. That'll dehydrate you. That'll dehydrate you real good.
And like within the first 10 minutes of us starting, I'm like, oh yeah, no, you know what? I got this. And then for the past 10 minutes was like, I'm gonna die here. Today's today.
That's fine.
But anyway, enough talking about that. What I missed? What are we talking about? What's useless?
Well, my next useless thing is non-stick coating, non-stick pans in general, in fact.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. 100%.
Because okay. I think my real issue is the fragility. I'm not saying that there's no utility for a pan that things don't stick to. I'm just saying that the name is a little misleading for how quickly the coating wears off. And how you can't even, it's not even a good daily driver pan because you can't use like a spoon in it or a metal whisk. Like the stainless steel pan really is the way to go for your daily driver because you can use metal on it. If you wanted to make anything that you can make in a non-stick, you can make in a cast iron skillet and just rub it with oil beforehand, just grease it liberally. And it doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't warp as easily. You could make a steak in there theoretically. I think you can put them in the oven a little hotter. I don't know. You might have to Google that, but you can't put most non-stick pans into the oven, which I think is egregious. I think you should be able to put something made for heat into the oven, of all things. But the other thing is, if you cool them down too fast, they warp. And then you can't use them on if you have a glass cooktop, which is not useless. If you have a glass cooktop, not useless, maybe not as good as a gas stove, but not useless, right? If your pan is warped, it's not going to work very well on the glass cooktop. It's got to be level. And so for a pan that loses its coating, like even if you put it in the dishwasher wrong, you can wear off the coating if you run your dishwasher too hot. And I feel like that's ridiculous because the pan just got hot on the stove. And so I don't like that. You can't use the rough side of the sponge. So if you really got grime in there, say goodbye to your pan because you're not getting it off unless you go out and buy dish detergent, specifically detergent.
Well, then you just go buy another one, baby.
Right. Then you got to buy another pan.
Yeah. And then what's the point of even getting one, period?
Right.
Oh,
it's useless. So just buy a cast iron, or not a cast iron, a stainless steel. Stainless steel is your daily driver, not a cast iron. I don't know if I said that before. I think I might have said cast iron. Stainless steel is your daily driver, not a cast iron. That's what I meant. Yeah, cast irons are great for steaks. They're also great for things like salmon. Anything you need a char on, I really like the cast iron for that. Because cast irons can go in the oven. But also, I have a glass cooktop now, so I can't really use a cast iron at the moment. Not great for glass cooktops. Yeah. Anyway,
go ahead.
How do you guys feel about non-stick coating? Non-stick pans.
I am not a fan of them.
Agree.
I mean, I've been agreeing with you this entire time. I'm just like, no, they're awful. They're not awful, but like, there's a better alternative that like is an improvement in every way, shape, and form. So go with the one that works. And they're not always like, from what I've seen, I could be completely wrong. I might be stupid because I haven't bought one in a while. They're not really like super differently priced. Like it's maybe a little more expensive, but it's not like, hey, this one's $50, this one's $130. It's not like, anything like that. It's like, oh, this is like $20 and this is like $28. something around there.
You can get a good stainless steel pan for kind of cheap.
Yeah, I have like 3 that like I use every single day.
Yeah, they're just more durable, and like I don't understand this flimsiness behind the pans, the non-stick pans.
Yeah, so going over like you know what? Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna do this. So going over like we're going over kitchen stuff. And whenever you brought up like useless items, I'm kind of just minimalistic. Like I'm just like, yeah, whatever I use. I don't really find things that very useless. But as you were bringing up like all this, you use these items and whatnot. When I was in college, I had this one friend. He came in, first day meeting him, he's explaining stuff because we used to have like these. All right, we have the one person doing the dishes this week. We'd like switch chores around. That's how we did everything. And this guy, he came in and was like, "Hey, so I'm gonna be honest. I brought my own stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, I get it." But he's like, "No, like and he pulled out. He had 1 spoon, 1 plate, and 1 cup. He's like, "I will only use this stuff. If I use a pan, I'll clean." Yeah, he's like, "I'll use."
Why not a fork?
Maybe it was a fork. It may have been a fork. I cannot recall.
Baby.
Yeah, spoons are my least favorite utensil.
Yeah, but he was like, "Yeah, these are the 3 things I'm bringing. I'm not going to do dishes because I don't have a reason to, because I'm not going to use any other plate. These are my things." And so after that, I was like, maybe I should start doing that. And so that's kind of what I've been doing when it comes to like, non-stick pans and what have you. I'm like, all right, I have 3. I have 3. One's for breakfast, one's for lunch, and one's for dinner. That's how they're set up. And that's it.
I have the ones that I inherited, and I'm running those into the ground, and then I'm gonna buy a stainless steel immediately. That's the move, man.
What's the devil's advocate case for the nonstick, right? Like, why would someone...
it's melting cheese. That's literally it.
Just that?
It's melting cheese. It's maybe making eggs a little bit easier, or like if you want to make eggs with no grease.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if you have a brand new nonstick pan, because if they're not brand new, they're useless. You can put eggs in it and cook a good omelet or a scrambled egg without any grease, so you could make it entirely healthy for the most part. But I don't think that justifies, because I still have to grease my nonstick pans.
Yeah,
because
the egg gets stuck. The egg gets stuck to it, and you have to like scrape it off, and then like parts getting burnt, and you're just like, I've ruined my entire egg,
dude. That's the worst. Not to mention, if I want to make a steak and I want to baste it with some butter, and I only have metal spoons, right? Like, it's not like you can use a plastic spoon to baste your steak with butter. You got to use a metal utensil. Or a plastic, like a high heat plastic one, like a really nice, like a wooden spoon, or like a bigger plastic spoon. I don't know, but those are not good for that purpose. So non-stick pans, useless. I've deemed them useless.
Screw them.
All right, what else we got on this list? We got carpeted floor. I got along with carpeted floor, I have rugs that you can't put your shoes on. So like rugs that are too like shaggy. The only place that those are useful is the bedroom, but that's it. That's only because when you wake up, you don't have shoes on generally. And so the act of putting the shoes on is arguably easier than taking them off. And so I don't want to like come home and have to take my shoes off. So I think that any carpet and any rug that you have to take your shoes off for is useless. Coffee tables that you can't put your feet on are useless.
What?
I think that if you can't use your coffee table as an ottoman, it's useless. So
I will agree with that one, even though I disagree with the carpet. I will agree that if you don't, why do you have it? Why do you have a coffee table if you can't put your feet on?
Exactly. No. Just get an end table at that. Get a side table. Say small table to the side of the couch.
Nope.
It's cheaper, it's smaller, it takes up less space. You don't need to take up the space if you're not going to put your feet on the coffee table.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense.
I vehemently disagree. Because I am going to, if I'm sitting down on my couch, I want to eat, like say I want to watch TV and eat something. I don't want to have it on my lap, and I don't want to have to like turn to eat. I want it in front of me with my drink. I don't have to worry about anything. and I don't want feet on the thing that I eat my food off of. I don't want feet there.
Well, but if you get one of those sliding dinner tables that slide in toward the seat and trap you in like a little baby.
I don't like those. I don't like those. I don't like those. I do not like those. Those are too close. I
got a lap desk recently that works really well. A lap, like a little reader, like a little shelf that you put your computer on or eat on or whatever. It's nice. But the thing is, right, and this goes hand in hand with not putting your feet on them. If you can't wipe your table down with like a sanitary, like a Clorox wipe, then that's also useless. And those tend to be the same tables that you need coasters for, which I also think are useless.
Coasters? You think coasters are useless?
No, I think tables that you need coasters for are useless.
Oh, you mean like if you have like even just like a cup on and like it's a little wet
and it just gets
okay,
like,
that I agree.
And it just is so weak. Why is it so weak?
That I will agree with. Okay.
Like just stain the table better.
Yeah.
Or something, or get like a better stained table. Like
I can agree with that.
You know,
I think I want a table that like has a pattern on it that already looks like it's a bunch of like drink rings, so that when you add more, it doesn't take away from the design.
I actually wrote something down here. I said, note, should engineer tables that look cool when you have cup condensation on them. Like over time, they look cooler.
It's like those mugs that like if you heat up they change like a different color.
Yeah, something like that. Like make it you know, like I don't know. It could be a cool like art aesthetic, but
if you say in this table it's a different color.
Yeah, and I'm thinking more of like, I mean obviously I'm thinking of wooden coffee tables, but generally wooden coffee tables you can usually put your feet on. I think glass tables are even worse for me. Like they're just so I'm afraid I'm going to break them anytime I put something down on a glass table, specifically a glass coffee table. And like, I don't understand the utility. I don't understand the appeal of being able to see underneath your table by looking directly downward. It just doesn't resonate with me. I think a wooden coffee table is nicer 10 times out of 10. And it's sturdy enough that you can put your feet on it. But then it also has the trade-off of not being able to wipe down. But the glass tables that you can wipe down, you can't put your feet on. So it's like, what's the point? Let's get
a glass wooden table.
The tables that I really like are the ones that are acrylic mixed in with wood.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It has that nice acrylic layer on the top that if it scratches, you can just like put more acrylic over it, which is super nice because that means you can put your feet on it. You can do whatever. You can wipe it down. You can put drinks on it.
Every time you say "put my feet on the table," it just upsets me every single time.
I don't understand. No. Do you not like? Do you never put your feet on a table?
Like, do you sit upright every single second of every single day?
No, I have a couch. I can lay on my side.
But what if you don't want to lay on the side?
Okay, but also,
what if you have a couch?
Hold on,
what if you have one of those modern couches?
Listen, I have an L-shaped couch as well, and I have one of those that like has like a like leg out. I have like a pull out where you can pull the couch like an underneath part out, and it'll like pull up so you can like lay down there. So instead of being like a 3-seater, it becomes like one of those I don't even know what to call it, but like it becomes like much larger and whatnot.
Yeah, like
you just have to pull it. Yeah.
Like a bed. I've had one of those before. It's the nicest couch I ever had. But
yeah, and that's all you have to do.
But the thing is,
okay,
if you don't want to get a couch that does that, or if you don't have room in your house for an L couch, or if you're gifted a couch that doesn't have any reclining capabilities or otherwise, otherwise ways of getting horizontal, right? Or even if you have a new age couch where they have the bucket seats, where it goes, like it has like the dip for one seat, the dip for another seat, the dip for a third seat.
Yeah.
Where you cannot lay laterally across that couch without two bulging points of pressure in your spine, and so you got to be able to put your feet up on the coffee table.
You ready for this? You ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind. So if you can't do that, just get a recliner. My chair reclines right now. My feet are up.
Ooh, I mean, cozy.
I'm surprised that no one said get an ottoman because that's like what they're designed for.
Well, right, but if you have an ottoman and a coffee table, why? Just get one. Just have one thing.
I'm not gonna eat.
Any coffee table should be foot upon a bowl.
Okay, Okay.
Yes.
Hold on. However, I will say that if there's because some coffee tables have this where they have like a layer underneath. If you put your foot underneath that, where people like store stuff. If you put your foot underneath that, I can understand that. Just don't put it on the top where you put your food and your drinks. That is no, absolutely not. Underneath,
I don't see the problem.
Whatever.
If your food's going to be on a plate,
around,
like
you have cats or pets.
the food.
I have cats.
Yeah,
I have cats and dogs.
I'm just
there's
saying.
No point of contact between food and foot. Like there's nowhere that your foot touches the table that your food would also touch the table.
But
if you can wipe the table down, it doesn't matter.
Now, I will say, coming from Nico's point of view where he doesn't like to take his shoes off, I could almost understand. Like, I can understand the American, like, don't put your feet on the table if you have shoes on, if you're tracking in mud, that stuff.
Sure.
But, like, up here, everyone takes their shoes off when you come indoors. Like, that's just what you do up here. So I don't know.
Remind me to never visit Canada.
I just was like, man, I love taking my shoes off as soon as I get home. I'm never in the situation either way,
Oh yeah,
I wear high tops, so I'm just more comfortable with my shoes on. As soon as I take them off, I start stubbing toes. It's a skill issue, I know, but it's it just happens 100% of the time. 100% of the time, I take my shoes off. I get a lot of stub toes. I'm just not very space aware of my feet.
The best solution for this I've seen is when we were at Crubcella. Sorry, Brody. And there was the portable, like, knitted ottoman thing that you put your feet on. It was just like a little cushion. You just threw it around and out of the way.
But we destroyed it, though. We destroyed it. It was useless. We destroyed it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
My doggies were on that thing all weekend, and by the end, it was just leaking whatever the hell was in it.
Now, given I think somebody,
oh my God.
I think somebody spiked it like a football at one point. So I think maybe that might have been
multiple times. I won't name names, but that did happen with all the influences in our systems. Yes,
I legitimately don't remember who spiked it. I know it wasn't me because I never touched it, but like it wasn't like elevated enough for my lateral taste. My taste of lounging is almost entirely lateral. Almost entirely horizontal. If you're, verticality doesn't do much for booling, for vibing. So anyway, to putting a cap on that one, I think we stand where we stand. It is what it is. Thank you, Brody, for agreeing with me. And Sean, you're also maybe valid, but not to me.
It's okay. I never am.
I think in the spirit of it's always coatings or non-durable things. You'll notice this theme. The coating that goes on marble that is like quote unquote waterproof, that you can't use Clorox wipes on, that you have to like wash down with Windex, like that. That I think is useless because it's a cooking surface ostensibly. So like you should be able to just wipe it down easy. We live in the 21st century. Like let me wipe my thing with a wipe. And of course you can if you rent, but and that's a joke. Don't do that. But it's useless. It's useless.
As this episode has gone on, it's just got more and more hyper specific.
Yeah, I've never been near a marble counter to cook. I'm just like, sure, it sucks. I don't know.
I feel like Nico went to like IKEA or something. He's like, I don't like this anymore. I'm gonna write this down.
Why are the counters marble?
Well, it has a lot. Mine have a lot to do with cooking. Because my other one is the vent fan on the microwave on the stove. If it vents back into the house, is useless. It's got a vent outside. My parents have one that vents into the house. Like the guy like built it so that it didn't vent outside.
So does it go just like above it, to the side, to a different room?
Elsewhere. To a different room, yeah. It goes elsewhere.
Somewhere else?
Yeah. Who knows? Elsewhere. It goes elsewhere.
Oh yeah, it goes to the nursery. Like we're just choking out our...
We found out 20 years later that it was against a building code to do that, and he just did it. But it's too expensive to fit. It's too much of a hassle to fix. All right, what else do we got? I have an overlap from last week: vacuum cleaners and dryer lint traps in dryers that last 2 weeks ago. Who knows? The last episode I was on, it's a callback. The vacuum cleaners that when you empty them, the dust just gets everywhere.
Oh yeah, you and I argued about this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's useless. It's useless, and they should make vacuum cleaner incinerators.
Yeah, because it talks about putting things on. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah.
Do not put an incinerator in your vacuum.
It was just a constant fire pit. Discuss.
I think desks that require you to use a mouse pad are useless. Like desks that reflect the light back at the mouse so that it doesn't work properly.
This is so specific.
Like, just make the desk able to use it.
That's not useless. There's an annoying part of the thing. You can still use the rest of the desk.
It's useless.
You get a mouse pad.
Come on, it's useless, but you can't use it as a computer desk.
Well, I sure wish I could put my monitor on this desk, but I can't use the mouse on it, so the whole thing's useless.
Also, in what situation do you have any desk that you end up not using a mouse? Like, I feel like I
have a mouse pad right now.
I always use a mouse pad, or like one of those big fucking placemats that like can go across the whole thing that function as a mouse pad.
It was before I bought a mouse pad, Brody.
Weird how that solved the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I then bought a mouse. Well, I didn't have money to buy the mouse pad before I got it.
I don't like floors that don't have built-in ottomans. The floor should always have a built-in ottoman, I think.
Well, I mean, generally, I think this is my statement. Anything that discourages 100% convenience 100% of the time is useless to me.
I can see that. That is very... Oh my gosh.
It's gotta be convenient and it's gotta be consistent, right? And I think like, you know, bits aside, I'll put the bits aside for a second. The flimsiness of a nonstick pan is legitimate. They are flimsy. The coating is thin. The coatings often are not as strong as I want them to be. You can't use a metal utensils on it. Those are all what I consider to be logical, good reasons that, and also the availability of alternatives, right? That's a good one. The marble thing is also a good one, albeit specific. But that coating is thin, right? The carpet thing for me is granted specific, but I feel like if your carpet is not robust enough to take a couple wears of shoes, that you should get a different carpet. Invest in something more long-term, something that lasts for quite a while, right? I'm not telling you to go out and invest in patterned rugs from the 90s movie theaters, but I am saying that, you know, rugs that just immediately you step on them once with a shoe and it's ruined. Like,
this answer solves
so
your computer
useless.
desk issue. Just don't get one that doesn't do the thing then.
Well, right, but then they shouldn't make them, is my point. Just make
what do you mean they shouldn't?
Just make them so that they work with the mouse. You know what people are going to use them for.
People use them for everything else. Literally anything else. They can use it for drawing. They could use it for...
on like a tablet.
Do you need a mouse for that?
I mean, the people, like, there are desks that are used for things other than computers, I think is what Sean is saying.
Those are hand-me-downs.
What?
No, I'm kidding. We're back to the bits. We're back to the bits. Yeah. No. It's the desk thing is specific. The desk thing is very specific.
It is. That's hyper specific.
That is something. I mean, I'm not out here to put the mousepad industry out of business, but I definitely think that we live in the 21st century. 90% of desks are going to be used for computers. So maybe don't make ones that just reflect the light back at the mouse. You know, give it a right-hand side, a left-hand side, both of them. Make it so that you just have a little sliver that works as like a mouse pad built in. Yeah. I'm just saying. It'd be nice. Right. Be easy.
Otherwise, it's useless.
What else?
Otherwise, it is useless. And my last useless thing.
All right, I'm ready.
My last useless thing, which goes back to the tablet thing, is non-searchable notes. If you take notes on a piece of acoustic paper and pen, and you can't search them, like, they're kind of useless. Or at least they're useful in the short term, but they are useless in the long term. If you ever had a notebook that you've gone back to years later and been like, man, what was I writing in here? You know what I mean? Or if you like have one notebook that you've been writing ideas in or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I gotta find this really good idea. It was right after this drawing of a giraffe that I made, like, and you can't find that drawing of a giraffe. Like, it's much easier if you're able to just search painted carpet in your notes, and then you comes up with that particular note.
Computers are quite convenient.
I'm not saying this is a perfect solution, but I feel like this is something that was solved by highlighters decades ago.
Yeah.
Again, in the short term, it maybe extends that short term.
Nico Skeleton. It's pretty bad that you'd need another thing to make the thing useful.
Yeah. Right. Like, you don't, like, everything should be self-sufficient, I think.
I can't wait till AI makes my pencil notes searchable.
So, well, as I said before,
I think they have. I do think they have that.
Yeah,
I do think that exists.
I don't know if this was brought up during pre-show or like before pre-show, but like I write notes. Like when I make videos, I write my notes on paper. It's just how I've always been. I literally just write stuff down. I write my video game ideas that I'm working on. I write down D&D stuff for my story and stuff. However, I do put that into actual notes because I do have to search that on the fly. But for me, like when it comes to writing, typing does I don't know. It just doesn't.
Did he?
He froze. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, I'm lapping it.
Oh wait, am I alive?
Yep, he's back.
You're currently back. Let's run that one from the top.
Yeah, run that one from the top.
I don't even know.
Okay.
So I write. God. So I write my notes. Apparently acoustically, that's what we're gonna go with. So I like to write them down. I write them on paper. That's just kind of how it's always been. I do that with video game reviews. I do that for the video game that I'm working on. I do that for D&D stuff. But I do the D&D stuff. Did it again? I don't understand. My internet's fine. You know what? Whatever. I write down stuff with a pen and paper. All right. That's it.
All right.
Big tech's trying to get to you, Sean. They're trying to silence your radical views.
Well, Brody, and if Sean's internet allows him, did you guys bring any quick ones for us right now? Otherwise, I'm gonna go to the Patreon question of the week. Any quick useless items or useless inventions? Useless things?
I was drawing blanks the whole time, but in my defense, that was because I specifically thought, because the way you would pitch this was useless items that don't currently have an alternative.
Well, that's why there's.
Well, when you said carpeted floors, I read that and I started dying because I'm like, but there's other kinds of floors,
right? But the alternative is in the way that in my frame of reference, the alternative is ripping up your carpet and putting in hardwood floor, which is expensive.
They should have like the opposite of carpet. Like they should have like rugs, but that are like tile that you put on carpet.
Oh,
honestly, well, I mean, they should just have rugs. I think, in general, rugs that you can step on.
All right, I have one.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something we phased out. Thank all that is holy. Cars with carpet in them.
Yeah. I'll say that's useless. Absolutely. 100%.
Is that ever a thing? Jesus.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere that you have to have your shoes on and is carpeted is not wise.
Like,
especially in the winter. That's
the winter. Yeah, and it gets all like musky and stuff. No.
Yeah, wet. Oh my god, my cousin had a watermelon in her car the other day, and it just like blew up on her. It like exploded, and like she got watermelon all over her car, and it was like, thank God that she didn't have carpet in her car. Thank God she had like a little mat that like caught the watermelon most of it, but she had to hose that thing down, and it was like not not fun.
You can't do that with carpeted cars. You have to like get a vacuum. Yeah. Even then, you got to pray and hope it works out.
Right.
You can't just replace that carpet. That carpet's stuck there.
Yeah.
I just realized I had a very narrow view of the definition of carpet. I was like, I don't need shag carpet in any car I've ever been in. No, the one I drive has. Yeah. Okay. I feel dumb.
No, mine
I agree.
Too.
It sucks.
It sucks. I have a plasticine mat under all of my seats, really, and in my trunk. Like you got to have it.
Useless.
Yeah. All right. Well, fellas, it is about that time to go into the Patreon question of the week. which this week comes from TK Hub World, and this question is, what are your go-to gaming snacks? Or if anyone isn't a gamer, what snacks do you like? Brody,
do we have a non-gamer in our crew? I think we're all gamers, right?
I'm kind of.
You're a new gamer plus. You count.
Yeah, I did play Armored Core 6 3 times in the past 2 weeks. So
gamer moment.
That's true. Yeah, I did do that. I only play specific games though. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I consider. I guess I consider myself a gamer now, but it took a long time to get there. Like,
gaming snacks.
Give me snacks.
Gaming snacks. Brody, what's your gaming snack?
Well, for as long as I can remember throughout my entire life, it has always been Doritos, which I know is a problematic pick because it's not quite Cheetos, like it's not quite number one stereotype, but it is up there, and it is one that gets your fingies all dusty, which is not something you want when you're playing it. But like I play games eating chicken wings and stuff. Like as long as you're good about the slurp, as long as you're good about the lick, the chisel, to get that gunk off.
Yeah, actually though, I do think that there should be some type, I think they should make game controller materials better, so that they can better withstand grease.
I think they should make carpeted controllers, actually.
I was going to say, we're just circling right back to okay, well, why can't I wipe them down with the... And I'm like, it's fair.
Well, I mean, the thing with grease is that it's I feel it most on the game controller. Like, I can play my guitar after eating some Doritos and washing my hands, and I won't feel the grease on the guitar. But if I do the same thing, eat the Doritos, wash my hands, and go back to the controller, I still feel that grease on there. And I think it's because of the material of the controller. Because I do specifically scrub my hands very well.
I have a PS4 controller that, how they have the nubs on the sticks are made of a dog's nose, it's that kind of texture.
Yeah.
I have one or two where it is just it is smooth. It has been grinded down through so much use, and I assume fucking Dorito grease. Yeah. But it is now it feels like a completely different, I bought it off a different brand or something.
Yeah. Sorry. Sean, do you have any gamer snacks?
So I don't really eat while gaming. My ADHD just does not allow me to do that. I'll sometimes put maybe 3 Oreos in front of me, and I'll eat one, play a game for 30 minutes. Oh, there's another Oreo, and you'll eat that. But I do. Yeah,
discipline the likes of which I've never heard. Congratulations.
Now, do you put controllers on your coffee table?
No, I have a gaming desk. And
Sean can't put anything on his coffee table.
Sean
can't put anything on his coffee table. If you can't put your feet on it, you can't put anything on it anyway.
But however, I will say though, drink wise, I do like to get a little something every now and then. The one thing that I really like that they don't sell in my stores anymore is Mountain Dew Game Fuel. I know that's the blue kind. I'm not kidding you. That is one of the few sugary drinks that actually gets me awake, gets me going.
Man. So we got 2 stereotypical answers from these knuckleheads.
I'm a white guy on the internet with blue hair. What do you think I'm gonna like?
If Sean's talking drinks, I usually go with a blue Gatorade or blue Powerade.
Okay, you need to get your electrolytes up after intense gaming.
Yeah, it's a real sweaty business going on.
No, I shouldn't act like my habit is any better. I have drink powder that I put in an insulated cup of water and ice that I mix in. It's drink mix.
Is it gamer stuff?
No, it's not. It's called Zip Fizz. It tastes very good. It appeals to my taste very nicely, and it's convenient. And I'm a wee baby who can't just drink normal water. And I didn't want to drink soda. And I didn't want to keep drinking energy drinks. So I went to the Zip Fizz, which is also kind of an energy drink, but not really. It's it's got the vitamins, but not as much caffeine. Which is nice. But yeah, I'm a wee baby. I can't drink. I shouldn't act like I'm better than that. Chris, you got anything unique for us?
Well, I put on my gaming bib. I slice my knife against the fork, I get ready to prepare for my meal.
The honing rod.
Yeah. And if I'm going to game and eat, it's a 3-star course. I have my sirloin,
that you've butter basted in your cast iron or your stainless steel pan.
No, I've been watching my calories lately, so I haven't actually sat down in a while and gamed and eat, right? Because the issue, like Brody alluded to, is that all the ones I'd want, like if I'm entering that much of a trashy, reductive, vegetative state and just giving in with Mountain Dew and Doritos, it does gunk up your hands, and I don't like that. And then it just becomes like a piling of issues, which doesn't work for my mind of like, well, if I do that, then I have to go rinse my hands off and then wipe them off with a towel, and I still kind of feel it for some reason, and I don't want to touch the controller.
You just got to get good with the tooth chisel. You know what I'm saying? You just got to like get that gunk off there. Like
you gotta brush my
it's a 2-stage process, because there's the powder that you got to chisel off with like your tooth, right? And then you got like the kind of saliva-y, like liquidy gunk that you just suck off. And then if you do that, you just kind of rub your hands together, or whatever, and then it's gone. And then you can just continue playing.
I hate that you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I don't like doing the chisel. I don't like doing the chisel. So actually, we'll go into this. Brings me to my gamer snack. Okay. I have two. My first one is Smart Pop, like Smart Food popcorn. The cheddar, like the black bag, the cheddar Smart Food popcorn. But specifically, I put it in a cup and I drink it. And I eat it that way so that my hands don't get greasy. And the popcorn has a nice form factor that it fills out a lot of the volume of the cup.
I may love that technique. I can get.
It's a good technique.
Smart Pop, yeah.
Yeah, no, because you can, it gives you one good serving size. The cheese powder gives it a little bit of just hardiness. So it's like you get one serving of it in the cup. It's perfect. Doesn't get on your hands. Doesn't get on your controllers. It's really, really nice and clean methodology. My other one is, of course, you know it well. I lost my gallbladder to it. That's right.
Oh boy!
It is Cheez-Its and cream cheese.
Wait, Cheez-Its and
Cheez-Its and cream cheese. Well, not just cheese. It could be a cracker. It could be Tostitos. It could be any crunchy chip and cream cheese.
That was a bad example that helped you ultimately, because for a while I thought you were just scooping the cream cheese solo out, and I was like, that's deranged, but okay. Cheez-Its didn't help it, but knowing you were doing something with it
I have
did help.
Some kind of a carb in there, a cracker usually. Okay. Yeah.
Good.
Like I had Ritz and cream cheese last night. So that was like, Ritz and cream cheese. Yeah.
I mean, we've all done that with peanut butter, right? It's just eating it right out of the thing with a spoon.
I do eat peanut. Yeah, I do love eating just peanut butter. That's true.
I smell that jar.
That was a big thing for me in college, is like, if all of the stores were closed and all I had was peanut butter, like I would just grab a spoon and be like, this is my gaming snack now.
I would do exactly the same thing. I would do exactly the same thing.
I would make peanut butter and honey sandwiches because like I couldn't afford jelly for a little bit.
Oh, honestly, that sounds better than peanut butter and jelly because of the texture. I don't like the jelly. Yeah.
It's a weird. The first time you have it, it's like you have to learn how much honey to put on it because it might be a little too sweet. Mm-hmm. But once you find that balance, it's actually really good.
Yeah, that's actually the same reason I prefer a peanut butter and fluff sandwich. I don't love Fluffernutter, but I like it in that context.
I agree with that.
And with that, fellas, to our listeners and to our friends, sorry, Chris, you go. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, let us know your useless inventions and or gaming snacks. I'll read them.
Yeah. Let us know all of that in the comments. And what do you think about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Was I too aggressive this episode? Was I not aggressive enough was I not cracking down enough on non-stick pans? Let us know. Leave that comment. Leave us a 5-star review. It really does help us out. Hit that thumbs up. Fellas, for Crub, this has been Brody, Sean, Chris, and I've been Buckets. We'll see you next time on Crub.